It's time to get technical about quotation marks and how you bring in evidence. Because if you look at my 3 pieces of evidence, they not only have quotation marks, they also have apostrophes. All 3 pieces of my evidence look that way. You might be able to figure out why. I'm going to explain by showing you the note dump. Some pieces of information were actually in quotations in the original article because someone was saying them. Someone was directly stating these things in an interview, in a conversation. There's also information that wasn't quoted in the article. It's explanation. It's someone else just writing it about them, giving us an idea. If you're bringing in an idea, something that wasn't originally quoted, when you bring something like that in, and I'll make sure that I merge formatting so the highlight doesn't come through. When you bring something like this in, you simply quote it, and you're all set. And that's how you normally do it. Maybe that's how you've normally thought about quoting something. You brought in this direct evidence, it has quotes around it, looks great. However, if you're going to quote a quote, so you're going to take what someone directly said in an article, it was originally in quotation marks, so it was an actual statement by them, it goes a little bit differently. You may have already guessed, that's when you bring in the apostrophes and then the quotation marks. So when we look at this, Schmidt actually said these things. And it might not just be the author saying something, maybe it's someone saying something about the author, but if it was a direct quote in the article, someone actually stating this in a conversation, when you copy it, when you bring it in, this was once surrounded by quotation marks. Because I'm going to quote this quote, they become apostrophes. But because I'm bringing it as my information, I put quotation marks around it. So if you're going to quote a quote, the prior quotation marks become apostrophes, and then you put your quotation marks around it to show you have taken what someone else said directly, what somebody else was quoted as saying in an article, and you are taking it for your purposes. That is why all 3 of mine have an apostrophe and then a quotation mark. That is why it looks that way, because it was directly stated in this case by my author. You might also have something directly stated by a different person talking about the author, but if that is the case, it needs an apostrophe and quotation marks, not just the quotation marks that you have if the article was simply explaining something. If you have any questions, let me know.